when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure and our pain. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our whole new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand. We did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning. This is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to our whole new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to our whole new world. All the lions try to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to
And welcome back to Nerd Tea for another live Wednesday broadcast for the OP Buttkicker Grand National Series presented by Icon Apparel Company, as we are on race 6 tonight here for the OP Wednesday Series, as we're going to kick off the Nerd TV Countdown to Green, presented by Icon Apparel Company as well. And we're going to go over the weather. We're going to talk about some things and then watch some qualifying and then watch 70 laps, just like we do every single Wednesday here at OP. Weather, 86 degrees, 34% humidity, partly cloudy, 7-mile-an-hour winds. So a little bit of wind gust here and there, but should be okay on the weather side tonight here for this fine Wednesday evening. For the Jeff Crosby Jr. at Daytona. My name is Jeremy Stanley, a.k.a. Jay Swifty. To my right-hand side, partner, producer, father of many. Now, I was going to make a Steve reference, holder of something, I don't know. It's Dustin Loxton. What's up, man?
You know what? It's here on another fantastic Wednesday evening to watch the drivers of the OP Buttkicker Grand National Series tackle Daytona in the Xfinity car. And you reminded me, you said father of many. My son dropped off and specially ordered me a hat. Had a special order this, as he is Mac Tools. He's a mechanic's apprentice right now, going through all of his apprenticeship, and had a special order me a Mac Tools hat just to get my neon green. So I'm glad you reminded me about that. So I'll put it on and I'll wear it tonight's broadcast, as this coming weekend is Father's Day, Jeremy. So it's going to be a good one.
No kidding.
So should be a good one though. But like you said, race 6. I mean, we're chucking through this season quite a bit. Of course, the story, and it has been the story, has been Mark Mann has been dominating this. He's only had 2 bad races, Jeremy. 2 bad races. That was the season opener wasn't a good one for him, and last week wasn't a good one for him. But the other 3, he's got the dub. So last week we had Sean McCara take the win there on the last lap craziness that happened. So there are your winners right now and your top 16 in points. Again, race 6. We still got about, about 13 or no, not even 13. We have, about 10 races to go? No, 6.
We have 8. So right now,
is it 8 before the playoffs?
6. Yeah, right now we're on race 6, and we run 8 races, and that's going to run us till week 13 OP style. That's going to be ARCA 08 at Daytona. 08 to Daytona. So yeah, we got 8 races between now and then July 30th, and that'll set us off for the round of 16 after that, which will host 6 races to find our champion. So there's the answer to that question.
There it is. So it's at the point now, Jeremy, we're nearing that halfway point. So now points are going to start weighing in a little bit more. I mean, drivers are going to really want to start pushing it now to try to get themselves in that top 16, so above that red line that's currently held by Jimmy Reynolds. He's currently on the bubble. We have Justin Coy just outside of that bubble, but again, a win can change everything. A win and you're in. It locks you into the round of 16. So again, drivers really trying to get up there in that. And you know as well as I, Jeremy, that it can be stressful, especially when it's coming down to crunch time. It's not quite there yet, but we are nearing that halfway point, and drivers definitely got to start thinking points races when it comes to making decisions like, should I put myself in a bad spot to where I wreck out and finish 20th, or should I just be happy with the 5th type deal?
It's always tough, man. There's so many things that can be unpredictable here, and there's so many things that can be very predictable. The predictable things is if Mark Mann is finishing the race not wrecked, he's going to win. If it's any other series, if Anthony English is in the race, he's going to win. As we've learned again and again on Saturdays. But the unpredictable thing is the big one, right? You could start at the front, the back. It doesn't matter. So you can strategize all you want, and you can take care of your car. You can run 60 laps in the back, and then the last 10 you can just, balls to the wall and get it going. But yeah, points after about, for me, 6 to 8 races in, I'm like, okay, I got to hammer down. I got to lock down on my strategy. I can't just willy-nilly this thing. And so I'm on your boat, Dustin. I think this is the time where you start thinking, hey, if I'm on the bubble, maybe I should, button some things up. But that's it, man. Practice is over. That means we're going full screen. And we're going to go to our fastest guy in practice, 2 1,000ths faster than second. And that's going to be, well, the guy I talked about, Anthony English. There he is. He's on track. So we finally get to watch the guy, P1 in practice, go on track here. Driver the 44 who, last month had to take some time off for health. He's back at it, and just like it was the month prior, he's winning races left and right, Dustin. This guy just cannot be stopped for the most part out of Super Speedway here.
Yeah, it's picked up right where he left off, right in his winning ways. And his been doing exactly what everybody expected him to do, which was run up front, be up front, nab victories here and there, and that's what he's been doing. It's excellent and awesome to see him back out on the track. Glad to see that health and everything else is going in the right direction, because we don't want anybody to be in ill health of any kind whatsoever. And it is. I mean, we talk about it all the time. They talk about it in drivers meeting, OP's a family. They're saying without you, there'd be no us. They say that literally every race and in-race chat. And they mean that. So it's, the whole OP community's rallied behind Anthony English, as they have, anybody else that's had any type of situations or issues come up. So it's good to see him out on the track, but we'll see what's going on. We'll see where he's at, along with I think the final count was like 38 drivers, Jeremy. I'll have to recount it up again, but man, a massive field. If you recall, last week there was 42 drivers, which was a phenomenal number to see. So I mean, these numbers just keep packing these fields, and it's excellent to see.
As we continue to ride with Anthony here for his ending of his only lap here. Kind of go over the points too. For those that might be curious, Anthony has 1 start. Tonight will be start number 2 out of the 6 races. He's 50 some points behind 16th place driver, which happens to be Justin Coy. So technically he's still not out of it, unless there's a rule prohibiting these guys to missing 4 or more races before the season's over, the regular season that is. So might be something to keep an eye on if he can kind of still sneak his way into the playoffs without a win. Of course, if you get the win, you're in. But if you don't get the win, he still has 8 races, including 9, to get the job done. So as we continue to ride on board with some of these other guys on the field right now, looking at Sean McCarra in the 71. He's coming off of turn 4 here to complete his first and only lap. He's going to ride early on the apron and post a time of 50.716. Good for P9 right now, Dustin.
Yeah, good for P9. We're going to switch over to Gabe Butler, driver that knows how to put down some quick laps here, as Rick Sanchez jumps to the top of the board, 50.69. Giggity. Jeff Brown on the YouTube side says, boys, my 2 favorite broadcasters. Of course, that's Jeff Brown from iRacing iFlag. Much love and respect, my guy. Gabe Butler is dropping down below the yellow to complete his time lap, and he is going to cross at 50.67, 2 100ths faster than Sanchez, knocking Sanchez down and taking over that top spot momentarily.
If it's a Sunday, Michael Hayes is going to have a shot at the pole. If it's a Wednesday, Gabe Butler's going to have a shot at the pole. That's just how it is. So Gabe Butler knows how to qualify on average better than every single driver in this field, and continues to show it here. Only 2 drivers in that 0.6 second bracket, as you have 20 seconds left in this qualifying session. And I think everyone that can finish a lap is done with their lap. Well, actually, Andy Berganti, he's close. He's in the tri-oval now with 9 seconds left.
He'll get it.
He's actually going to sneak it in
Bubba Winningham will not, though. He is too far behind, will not be able to put down a time lap before qualifying session comes to a close.
And then Kenny Bishop on the YouTube says, me and Dustin are shit. So there's that.
My man. Our
CFE and
caffeine team member there. And, of course, he's looking down because he's typing on the YouTube chats. That's all right, though. We'll talk to him throughout the race, that's for sure.
Last week he wore the Bass Pro Shops. Now he's wearing the USA golf hat. So,
the USA. He's wearing the USA.
The USA. He's smiling. He hears me talking about him. He knows what's up.
He's typing. That's exactly what he's doing. He's typing. I'm telling you, he's typing. It's going to pop across the chats here momentarily. I know that smirk.
That's kind of funny because right before he said that on the YouTube, didn't say that 3MP, I was literally saying that's going to flare back up in this conversation tonight. So
every time, for those of you that do not know that story, Jeremy getting 3 medium pizzas for a whole whopping 12 people, which was not gonna be enough, and he will forever not live that down in the nerd world at all. But Jeremy, we're ready to sit here and go through that grid, my man. Let's run through.
I can't believe you brought that back up, too. Everyone against me cannot believe this. I quit. Here we go. Gabe Butler's going to start P1 here tonight. Rick Sanchez, second place. Mark Mann in third with Vicente Guerrero in fourth. Anthony English, P5. Eric Lowry, sixth. Adam Kilday, seventh. Kyle Ether in eighth. Jimmy Hop in P9. And Joe Guerrero in 10th. Jimmy Reynolds in 11th. Les Levy, 12th. Sean McCarroll in 13th, Nathan Warren P14, Timothy Abrell, which I think that might be newer, is P15, Dwayne Corbett 16th, Gary Bergeron in P17, Jeff Crosby Sr. 18th, Everett Lane 19th, Dave Hunt 20th, 21st will be Harold Rothery 22nd, Justin Coy, Randy Cornwell, 23rd. Christopher Jordan, 24th. Dana Shepard, 25th. Andy Briganti, 26th. Derek Donna, 27th. And the last person to post time in qualifying, Alex Giffen in 28th. The rest of the field sorted by their iRatings. That's going to go Sean Stevens, Kenny Bishop, Kyle Whitaker, Alex Green, Andrew Schroeder, Chris Lewis, Dalton Wilson, Bubba Winningham, Lynn McNeese, Douglas Johnson, Mike Edgerton for 39 entries. 39. So basically a whole field once more. We're doing this under the lights. 8:02 p.m. server time. So you see the sun fading there over turn number 1 and turn 2, which that is accurate. Turn 1 and turn 2 are on the west side. And that's why the sun is setting on the west side. So geographically, I appreciate iRacing getting it down right. I tested this at Sebring, Dustin. Turn 7, that hairpin turn right. I watched it in real time at the track go down, and then I go to iRacing to test it out, and what do you know? It's perfectly on point. So it's kind of cool how accurate they get these things.
Absolutely, yeah. They put a lot of accuracies in that as well. And speaking of accuracies, Kenny Bishop says perfect amount on the YouTube to that 3 medium pizzas.
A perfect headache.
Jeff Brown even comes in and says, guess we know who the party planner won't be, Jeremy. So it looks like you're clear on that one.
Listen, my mom texted our group today and said, Father's Day lunch or dinner, we should do pizza. And before anyone had a chance to say anything, I said, I for sure am not buying these pizzas.
That's probably a smart thing.
Yeah.
Have Brian do it. It'd be all right. But
he said his office manager's going to do it, a.k.a. his fiance. So
there you go. But 70 laps. We will have a stage break at the completion of lap 35. If the caution doesn't come out within 5 laps of that one there, pace car is off as they are rolling to the Geico restart zone or the initial start. Green flag flies. Gabe Butler leads the way with the 5 of Rick Sanchez to the outside. And wouldn't you know it, Mark, man, what is this guy doing up here, Jeremy? This guy never qualifies, always starts in the back, and he is starting P3 right now. So your pushers from the get-go are Mark Mann and Vicente Guerrero on the bottom and top, respectively, Jeremy, as they're working their way out of 2.
if I know anything about threes, Third place is a good place to start. Head off on the back straightaway, already almost 3 wide anyways. So still now 2x2x2. Blinky is the 44 out. Anthony Green there on the inside, third row.
Who's Anthony Green? You mean Anthony English?
I corrected myself. Did I say Anthony Green?
You said Anthony Green, man.
I went to go say Alex, and I changed it to Anthony, and then I kept it Green. So, I'm going to quit. Like I said, it's all good. Did our first lap here this evening, and Dustin, I heard there was a special thing that was going to happen next week here, this next Wednesday's broadcast. There's a couple of cool things going on next week. One, we'll have a special announcer, hopefully. We're not going to name him just yet because we can't 100% confirm because it almost happened tonight. So we'll wait for the official confirmation. And then I think we're going new Gen 4 next week. Is that correct?
Yes. So June 18th at Talladega Super Speedway, my favorite track, Jeremy, the new Gen 4s, at least as it sits now, that is on the docket. If they, I do know iRacing was talking about a hot fix, possibly with some other things that were going on, and a small minor update. As long as things look good with that, we are looking to see OP debut the new beautiful Gen 4s. Can't wait to see some of the schemes for that. But that is looking to be on the docket June 18th.
Looks like I'm busy because Kenny Bishop's going to need a paint job, and I'm the man for it. So, oh, we got a caution here. As soon as we get done with that little segment, middle of lap 3, there's a debris flying over the back straightaway for no reason. I think there's a car lagging, but then you have a wreck possibly here involving Alex Green in the 3. Oh, yeah, he just tries to squeeze the gap, Dustin. Could not fit the car there.
No, negative, Ghost Rider. That pattern was definitely full with the 312 of Mike Edgerton, and both of those guys go for a ride there off of that, and that's exactly what was going on. He was trying to fit it in there as they were trying to make up as much time as possible, and being side by side is typically not the way to do it, and there just wasn't enough room there. A little bit of contact, and around went the 3, and up to the wall went the 3 and the 312.
Yeah, actually on my end of the screen, it was laggy. I could not see it. They blinked out, had no shot of it, so I'm glad that you picked it up because I didn't see it. But, yeah, Alex Green continuing to just limp his way to pit road with a very, very damaged car. This has got to have to be a faster pair. They get one faster pair as we're going to load up our race information screen here, which is fixed setups, 45% fuel load, unlimited tires. There's that one faster pair. 2 green-white checkered attempts, and Lucky Dog and wave rounds are in effect. So Alex Green is going to use that first one on lap 3. And everybody else should be just fine. OP style. Everyone's going to come down pit road because there's only 45% fuel, Dustin. If you go 3 laps and don't pit, you're just maybe a big sitting duck. So here comes the whole field down pit road. Maybe minus one car. Nope, he fakes it out. Everyone coming down.
Yeah, and with that, Jeremy, because we've talked about it, this series on Wednesdays has been known to go long green flag runs, potentially caution-free. We have seen that a couple of times as well, so it's not uncommon. So sometimes that gamble ends up biting you harder than what you would actually like it to. And, they are going to have to make a pit stop. They cannot make it to lap 35, which is the end of stage 1, without a pit stop of some kind to cut that gap. So it's going to have to happen regardless. But the question is, when do you do that? The goal is to give yourself enough fuel to at least make it to that end of stage 1 at the completion of lap 35. So the ticker up on the top, when we go back green, and you see it on the far left, we'll say 36 of 70. There will be a caution, and they will come down for fuel then. So, but anything in between, Jeremy, it's up for grabs on when drivers want to do it and when they don't want to do it.
Yeah, 100% there. Get a nice shot of the old digger camera there on the middle of the back stretch as we have 1.5 laps to go. I am watching the 3-car Alex Green. He is going to like to repair this manually, Dustin. I don't know how. I thought for sure that car was broken up, but no, we're going to try to limp this thing around for a few more cautions. OP on Wednesdays is very strange. Remember, we started, it was caution free all the time, right? We would be super surprised and then become accustomed to not having cautions. And then now we've had a brief moment of a decent amount. So you never know with these things. And Alex is electing to try to bank on the idea of multiple cautions to get his car repaired. But we're going to go
He's
one
not
more
the
lap
only one.
on this place.
He's not the only one. If you look, Everett Lane, Randy Cornwell, Dana Shepard, and Derek Donna all elected to stay out during that pit cycle under caution. Gabe Butler was the first driver that came down pit road and made it off of pit road. He sits in P5. So your top four are banking on the very same thing. Now, the goal here, Jeremy, is that we run, say, another 8 laps or so, and a caution comes out for this to work, because then those top four plus everybody else will come down pit road to service their cars from the virtual pit crew again, and those 4 drivers then just leapfrogged. If you look, they're the biggest gainers. Everett Lane, 17. Randy Cornwell, 21. Derek Donna up 24. Dana Shepard up 21. They leapfrogged from the back to the front. So they are definitely banking on another caution within the next 5 to 8 laps.
Yep, good solid point there. We'll see what that happens. I got a couple of YouTube shout outs here. Steve Hoppett says arthritis is pretty bad, so no race for him again. Watching from down under. Have a good call, boys. And then Dan Parent says feel better soon. Let's go Dana, number 43, and Derek, number 215. And then Myra Clark saying let's go 04, which is the most popular pick of this season.
Solid pick.
That's right. And Steve Hoppett says, man, Winningham and Sanchez for the podium. So not only is he picking the winner, Dustin, he's picking
picking the podium.
Top 3.
I tell you what, I'm glad you could join us, Steve. I really do miss racing with you out there on the track. I enjoy every chance I do get to share the track with you. So hopefully that arthritis gets a little bit easier for you, and you're able to come out and catch some races here or there on a Saturday, or maybe we be able to call you again on a Wednesday. So glad you're joining us tonight, though, and appreciate everybody shouting us out. Is Jeremy, that pace car, ready to pull down pit road? There it goes. Everett Lane, Randy Cornwell will be your front runners. Then you have Dana Shepard, Derek Donna, your pushers. Green flag flies, and we're back underway.
Here we go. Lap 7 is the restart number here. We're going to go green flag. Little separation between the 24 and the 43. That'll reel its way back in before turn 2 even. As we're following in here, getting some race chat with a couple of drivers. Not sure what happened there, but it sounded like a little miscue somewhere. But I don't see a wreck. We're 3 wide, though. Anthony English, 3 wide up in the middle off of turn 2. Still remains 3 wide. Early attempt here. I think that's maybe where the confusion was, Dustin. There's some chatter around the 44 here and where he's out on track right now.
Yeah, and it very well could have been, because he was in a weird hole there. He wasn't... He was in the sucker hole there, and by what we mean there is he had absolutely no draft help whatsoever, no cars behind him. They were on either side of him, and it looks like he's still having some connection issues going on right now, because he's blinking in and out. That could have been possibly what that was, but back up front, Everett Lane has linked back up with the 43 of Dana Shepard on that inside lane. Derek Donna is pushing the 922. That's Randy Cornwell. That was your Stage 1 winner last week. Again, first time that we had seen him last week, and he come out of the gate in winning fashion, winning Stage 1. And now he's back up front tonight here in the Xfinity cars at Daytona. 3 wide.
3 wide almost for the race lead. And here there's Derek Donna in the 215. He needs a partner, or else he's going to get shipped clear as day to the back right now. Front stretch tri-oval, still 2x2 minus the 215. As you have a Carl Edwards throwback up there toward the front of the field. Number 60 on the door, that's not the driver of the car, number 60. That is the 960 of Kyle Ether. But I'll take a Carl Edwards throwback all day. Plus, with the new Gen 4, Dustin, you know I got some schemes in the works.
Oh, absolutely. And there's been some beautiful schemes out already. It's going to be a good one. Can't wait to see what these drivers debut next week in the new Gen 4 in the Super Speedway package. Nonetheless, because we have an actual dedicated package just like they did in real life for the Gen 4s for Super Speedway. So going to be kind of a cool little addition to that. Up front, still side by side, Cornwell, it leads that lap over Everett Lane. And they are still side by side, 24-9-22. The only difference now is the 04 of Mark Mann is now the pusher on that high side. 43 of Dana Shepard still pushing on that inside. And Everett Lane clears the 922, has room to move up there if he so chooses to, but elects to stay down on that inside lane with the big pushes from 43 of Shepard.
On the back stretch here, 25 laps to go at the line until the end of the first stage, where we will talk to our stage winner at that time. Still just very conservative 2x2, not much 3x3 going on here after the 215 did file in. And so Everett Lane and Cornwell are going to be the two guys bouncing back and forth on this race leader, which Randy Cornwell last week, Dustin, I think was his debut race.
Oh, big wreck.
We got a caution. We got a wreck on the front straightaway here. And it's going to involve maybe, I don't know, Dustin. My game kind of took out the wreck from me, so I don't know exactly who's involved. Dustin's got it there on the Nerd TV replay.
I seen Douglas Johnson. Now, this may be a little blinky in and out because I know there were some connection issues. But, he was way off pace there. And then it looked like contact from the 838.
That was wild.
That's Justin Coy, and yeah, Doug Johnson goes for a hell of a ride there, and just look at there's connection issues, something. Look at the particles fly from the, just the lag spikes going on there. Usually when you see that many particles and all it is a car sliding, there's usually a connection issue somewhere, and that's definitely what that looked like, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching it now after you kind of pointed it out, and 838, Justin Coy, he didn't see a car at all until it blinked right in front of him, and then he got on the binders about 5-6 miles an hour, and it still couldn't avoid that contact. So just some hiccups to the opening week of this new build in iRacing for Season 3 of 2025. Apparently the lag, we have not seen this lag in quite some time, but it is eating some drivers up, Dustin. Anthony English, now we see the 338. Or 388 rather.
Looked like the
a lot of drivers blinking.
Yeah, it looked like the 71 of Sean McCarra might have been blinking a little bit. Yeah, we typically don't see a lot of the blinkies going on, over here at OP. We see it from time to time here or there, but it seems like it is plaguing a lot more drivers tonight. And again, that big update that was just pushed out yesterday by iRacing that did include the new Gen 4 package that came out, as well as track update packages and refreshes that came out as well. So usually that first week after an update, and it gets a little hairy at times. So that definitely seems like that's what we're experiencing right now. But pit road is underway, and Jeremy, those four drivers, this is exactly what they were hoping was going to happen, because they were able to leapfrog that field, and that caution came out, and it was in that 5 to 8 lap range from the drop of the green flag on the restart, and it looks like they're going to be the ones that benefit from that the most.
Yeah, 100% there. 3 wide off of pit road. We're going to take our quick first picture-in-picture commercial break, and we'll be right back. All right, back full screen here. Less than a lap before we're going green flag, and we're gonna bring in our caffeine team driver, nerd TV driver, whatever you want to call him. We got him. Kenny Bishop. This is Jeremy, nerd TV booth. What's up, man?
3MP, what's up, brother?
3MP back in action here tonight. Let me talk to you. Yeah, that's thanks, my mom. That's reignited. But hey, man. Sporty looking car out there. Love the colors. The last 3 races you've been in contention to win. As this year, are we gonna 4-peat that, or are we finally gonna get this job done here this evening?
Hoping to get that job done this evening. We'll see what happens. So far, I've avoided them all, but I think they've just been behind us. But I'd like to get up there. I mean, still get a top 10 would be nice, but I'd like to actually get up there and compete for the win in the last lap.
Yeah, 10-4 on that, man. I know you got what it takes. Go ahead and get it done, and we'll make sure that 4th box of pizza gets to the team pit box so we can get that job done, all right?
Hey, you just got to give it to Brian. I'm good with it, but he's the one that's not going to ever let you live it down.
Okay, 4 boxes is for Brian, and somehow that's going to translate to a Kenny Bishop win this evening, man. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, pace car down. Green flag is out. Randy Cornwall taking the start of this race here. Going to resume on lap 15. So we're going to have 21 laps remaining in this stage before we're going to see that stage flag fly. These guys have 1 pit stop, Dustin, mandated before the end of this thing to get to the halfway point.
Yeah, they will not be able to make it to the end of stage 1 if it goes regulation at the conclusion of lap 35. So if it stays green, they will have to come down during green flag conditions. But right now, don't tell these drivers that, because they are going balls to the wall. 922 of Randy Cornwell now duking it out with the 16 of Nate Warren. Cornwell has got the 88 of Butler behind him. Everett Lane behind the 16 of Nate Warren. And right now that inside lane surging forward there, Jeremy, as they're working their way through the tri-oval. So the question is, there's no way to conserve fuel right now. If I was a betting man, my idea would be to try to get the nearest to the front as possible, because again, if it does go green flag pit stops, those can make or break a run. You have to get in clean. You have to have a clean stop, get off clean, no pit road violations whatsoever, because it will knock you out of contention.
100% there. Stephen Lane has joined us on the YouTube chat. He said he had to mow some grass, had to take care of the yard work, and got to the computer just a little too late. So he's going to watch our broadcast and gave us a shout out. Said, hey, what's up, guys? So, hey, back to you. Thank you for joining in, man. 22 current viewers on the YouTube side. Dustin, I think, has the Facebook chats ready just in case anyone does want to chit-chat on that side of the spectrum there on our broadcast. And a lot of movement, Dustin. 922 and the 16 almost door check each other going to 1.
Yeah, the drivers are really trying to work that side draft right now, trying to get any type of edge that you possibly can. Not uncommon at Daytona and Talladega, or even IRSS, trying to get that side draft to try to build that momentum. But right now, that inside lane is surging. Now cleared up to P2. Gabe Butler is cleared, and actually Mark Mann is cleared, so your top 3 are clear to that outside line. Those drivers could jump up if they so choose to, but they elect to stay on that inside momentarily. And a lot of back and forth, Jeremy. I see that the line's just kind of snaking down through the tri-oval there, even down the backstretch, just all over the place right now. But again, they got their eyes set on that end of stage 1. That is what they're trying to do. Remember, there are points up for grabs. Top 10 at the end of stage 1 will receive points. 10 for first, 9 for second, 8 for third, so on and so forth, all the way back to 1 for P10. And those points, as we talked about in the Countdown to Green show, Jeremy, are ever vital right now as we are nearing the halfway point of the regular season. And talking about vital, that outside lane, Jeremy, making a run.
Yeah, once they get lined up, Dustin, they are strong. That last lap, you talked about it, they were snaking all over the place. This time they look a lot more uniform. Still a little movement, but not nearly as bad. And now the 16 led into turn number 1 this time because they're a little more connected. So it really all depends on that outside productivity, being a team or not, and it really depends strongly on the second and third car. The third car is typically the strong point in the chain of the outside lane. If the third car doesn't push the second car or get really close to that bumper, it just kind of puts a little parachute up at the front. And so really relying on that. And this time around, you see how much closer the inside lane is to one another. And that is why the 922 is going to lead this time around to start off lap number 20.
Yeah, starting up lap number 20, but that outside lane got a really big push. Now you're talking about third in line, Jeremy, and you're absolutely right. It is a team effort. Your third lane or third drive pushers right now are Mark Mann on the inside, Vicente Guerrero on that outside, and they are doing everything they can, but temperature management is a real thing. The closer you get to that driver, the more that you cut air off on that nose, the hotter that motor is going to get, and you do not want to grenade a motor at all. As Jimmy Hop on that outside line trying to get something going on that third line. And here we go. We have pit stops underway. That's why some of these drivers elected to stay on the inside, Jeremy. This is the point of safe return. That means that they can fill the car up and they will have enough fuel to make it to the end. And Jeremy, a lot of times the first drivers down pit road are usually the drivers that will be up near that front pack just by virtue of green flag rotation. So this group here looking to take that short pit and have enough to make it to the end. Everett Lane still out front. Nate Warren has dropped to the inside lane in front of the 922. That puts Everett Lane to that outside with Vicente Guerrero being the pusher. And then last week's winner, Sean McCara, is now your third in line, and here comes your next group coming down pit road as we speak, Jeremy, and look at that fan coming down. Got to whoa it all the way down to 55, and woohoo! Almost contact there between the 111 and the 911 on that one, Jeremy.
Man, that team picked up a fourth car. So there's 4 cars that look identical out there now, and that looks kind of wild out there. Timothy Abreu, I think the 911, he's the newest one to that, so 4 cars for that rooftop paint scheme as they're all going to exit basically together. And yeah, it's weird how that works, Dustin. The first group that comes down pit road typically are the ones that come out on top. I don't know what it is, but that's how that works. There's a lot of cars on this exit, single filing down. Turn 1 and turn 2 on the apron. As we got the 04 Mark Man. Oh, here we go. We're going to rotate the camera to the next set of green flag pit stops. Here we go. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars down this time.
Yeah, the number of your leaders, Everett Lane, Vicente Guerrero. You have Harold Rothery, Jeff Crosby Sr., and Derek Donna all coming down this time. That's going to leave Dana Shepard in the race lead. You see Jimmy Hop up on that top side. Last week's winner, Shane McCara, is on the inside. You got Chris Jordan is in there as well. I would expect this group here to come down pit road. Either this lap or the following lap, Jeremy. They're going to have to at this point in time because they are the last ones out there. I don't think it's going to benefit them at that point. I mean, I know that the laps are close if they would run it green, but I mean, if a caution does come out, they're going to have to save a lot to try to make it to the end on that one. So it's not out of the question. They could gamble it. They really could.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Here is you're going to have this round of green flag pit stops merge back into one big pack here. Because it looked like for the most part we had a clean, solid round of stops. I didn't see any penalties, no crashes were had, and they're going to start closing in here before the end of this stage 1. Right now we got about 12 cars roughly in this pack, as they're single filed on the bottom up front and then to the outside on the back half of it, but they will merge and become 2 by 2 by 2 all the way through in just the next couple laps. And then the other group of cars, Dustin, that came down pit road, they're trickling in a little bit. There's the 43 Shepard, he's making his pit stop. The rest of them just trying to trickle in and might make it. That's going to hurt. That's
going to hurt. At this track here with pit stops, you got to have friends come in because you have to have a little bit of that draft pull and push. And he just drove all the way through, Jeremy. It looks like the 43 of Dana Shepard missed his pit stall on that. That's really going to hurt.
Yep, at least he has stage break up front coming up soon. So That will, erase itself there. But looking at the 59, the 71 here, going through turns 3 and 4 as nightfall is almost completely set over Daytona National Speedway here on the iRacing service. Going to be 10 laps to go here before we see that stage caution.
Yeah, absolutely. On the YouTube side, Stephen Lane says, gotta show you guys some love back. Usually I'm broadcasting, you guys race, LOL. Yeah, that's usually the case. You're usually broadcasting on Saturdays when you see us two knuckleheads out there with some of our nerd friends having a fun time, joking and laughing around and pulling some laps, and also on Mondays as well. So we always try to sit here and show a little love. Dana Shepard back down pit road again. And like you said, that's gonna hurt him. That's exactly what he did. He missed his pit stall there the first time around, but the stage caution will come out, and as long as he is the first driver 1 lap down, he will be in contention for that lucky dog. But Jeremy, we are working lap 27 now. We just completed lap 26, working lap 27. This group here still electing to stay out. The 71 of McCara leading the way with John Guerrera in the 59 pushing him. That second group you talked about, like you said, Jeremy, side by side, just like what you had mentioned, currently being led on that inside lane by the 85 of Adam Kilday. He's got Gabe Butler pushing him. Eric Lowry on the outside with Rick Sanchez being the pusher on that outside.
Excellent racing formation right here on the front stretch. As they get really closer up the front there, 071 of Lowry trying to outrun the 85 and the 88, which is probably a really strong tandem that's going to be very hard to defeat here on the inside lane, which sometimes the inside can fall apart easily. Not with Gabe Butler pushing, the best pusher in OP at this time as we're on board. The 5 Rick Sanchez's roof camera through 3 and 4 this time. Headed off to lap number 28 when they get to the line. And they're going to see just how well Gabe Butler's able to run with the 85 here as they're on the front stretch to the tri-oval.
Yeah, big pushes from the 5 of Sanchez right now. It's going to put Lowry dead heat with the 85 of Kilday right now. Another big bump right there. Got a little squirrely, and now you see what these drivers have to deal with. You seen that bump from Sanchez, and it looked like it was a decent bump. But these cars sometimes will take the bump, and sometimes they do not like it. And it'll get that lead car just a little out of line there, and that's what it did. And you've seen what it did to the momentum right now, Jeremy. Even at these speeds, I mean, we're 194 mile an hour on board with Sanchez, and he's in the draft pushing. But again, we're getting closer to that stage break right now. That lead pack still up front leading, still doing what they need to. Sean McCara leading the way, and everybody in line right now. You got Guerrera, Gary Bergeron, Jimmy Hopp, Chris Jordan, and Anthony English is off of that one as well. He's kind of in a little zip code of his own right now.
Just a lot. Just all by his lonesome right here. But knowing that we have stage break, he's fine with this right now. You can't wreck when you're by yourself. At least hopefully you can't. These cars are kind of stringing
Challenge
along
accepted, Jeremy. Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted, says Dustin. These guys right here are your actual leaders. They have not come down pit road. They still need to come down pit road. They got to be at the very end of it, right? And they're approaching the lap count of, having their fuel tanks dry. So at any moment, this group of cars will find their way down pit road and eventually bring back, Lowry and Adam Kilday and Sanchez and all of them to the race lead. But we'll see. Could it be this lap? Could it be next lap? I know it's going to be at least a lap before stage.
Yeah, when we took the green flag for the restart, there was about 20 laps left until stage break. At that time, at 45% fuel load, these things are about 17, maybe 18 laps or so in the tank for these Xfinity cars or these B-class cars for the iRacing service. You can save fuel, not saying that they can't. So we'll have to see. What goes on. But caution comes out, Jeremy, and this looks like it's going to involve the 06 of Harold Rothery.
Yeah, the 99 also of Alex Giffen, 2-car wreck, I think, as contact between one of the rooftop guys. Going to slide the 99 of Giffen into Harold Rothery in the 06, and this is going to hurt. The 99 facing the complete wrong direction, right to the inside wall, and kaboom.
Oh, and he caught
Pulled
that
up.
corner too.
Sure did. And then Roth already know where to go. 2 cars with a lot of damage here.
Yeah.
Just about the halfway mark.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate turn of events there. That I mean, that's probably going to be a faster pair for sure for both of those drivers, at least for the 99, because that was heavy contact, and he caught the corner of that inside retaining wall at the most perfectly wrong spot to do the most damage to that car.
Yeah, that hood flew up right away. That was a heavy contact. Definitely going to be the faster pair for him. And we're going to get these things lined back up. We know these guys have to make their pit stop 71, 59. Everybody else that came down already do not have to pit. So Sean Becerra, John Guerrero, Gary Bergeron, Jimmy Hop, Christopher Jordan.
Question is, was that stage break though? Because that was completing lap 31.
No, you're right. As soon as you asked that question, literally as soon as you asked that question, admin came on the radio and said that is stage. You are right.
So
5-lap rule in effect. So Sean Becerra,
last week's winner, continues the winning streak by winning stage 1 tonight.
Yeah, look at him go. So we're gonna take our picture-in-picture break then, and we're gonna let them take their quick pit stops, and then we're gonna bring him in to talk to him. So I guess we'll be right back. Back to full screen here as we getting our 1 to go, I do believe, before we're going to go back to green flag. And so we're going to bring in the driver who won stage. You got to find him right there. Team channel number 3, Sean Becerra is going to join us right now.
Washington.
Sean Becerra, this is Jeremy in the Nerd TV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, how you doing?
Doing great, dude. You and, 4 or 5 others decided to stay out. And man, did that work in your favor? It gave you stage win, man. So congrats on that.
Yeah, it was kind of just banking on one, and with the win last week, I didn't really need the points, so I figured it'd be fun to gamble. I had a feeling one would come. Cut it a bit closer than I would have liked. I think I needed one either that lap or the next one, and barely got it. So.
Yeah, I was just talking about how you guys fuel was running dry basically, and then the caution came. Like, well, that worked out perfectly because they had to be coming down real soon. So isn't it fun out there though? You get a win, all of a sudden you're like, okay, I can breathe, I can do things I usually wouldn't do, like stay out like that, and it worked in your favor. So how much fun are you having out there now?
Quite honestly, I thought more people were gonna stay out, because I thought at least wait it out, because I think an early caution would have put us all in the fuel window, so then you'd at least have the track position to go for it. But so that didn't really help actually leading the line. But then I was like, yeah, it'd be cool to get a stage win in another interview. That's all I was thinking of the whole time. Just wanted the interview.
Well, you got it, man. Anything you want to say before we bring you back?
Not really. Just
All right.
I hope to keep coming back here. I like being brought up in the broadcast booth. It's never for a bad thing. It's never because I caused a wreck. So hope to be back here many more times.
Not until Dustin creates a segment that brings in the negative side of things, but until then,
Great
it is
idea.
all good.
That's a great idea. Let's do that.
Absolutely. We're going to work on it. All right, man. Get back to it. Good luck out there.
All right, sounds great. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, back to the channel he goes. Green flag back in the air. And even though the 71-1 stage, he's not going to restart first. John Guerrero in the 59 does lead the field to the green, Dustin.
Yeah, John Greer is going to lead that inside line with your stage 1 winner, Sean McCara. And Jeremy, we had talked about it, that he won last week, and we like to try to bring this up. So we know that last week was the old ARCA car at Talladega. We know McCara won. Everett Lane came in second place. Adam Kilday third. Zach Fritz fourth. And Gabe Butler finished fifth. And of course, we already touched base on the 922 of Randy Cornwell was your stage 1 winner last week. So again, some of those drivers picking up right where they left off last week, Jeremy.
Yeah, that new rooftop team is doing quite well for themselves. And we got some YouTube chats I need to go over because this thing is kind of filled up. I'm already scrolling through chats, which is a good sign here. Conversations are being had. Stephen Lane said the Nerditudes are awesome, so I appreciate you for that. And there's some discussion about is Derek Donna racing, and he's mid-pack. And then got to feel bad for Harold, wrong place, wrong time from Steve Hoppett. Yep, that is absolutely true. Just sitting there and got blindsided, and then almost direct at the front as I'm kind of watching the camera at the same time. And then, yeah, so Stephen Lane definitely wishing he was out here tonight. He didn't have to mow that yard. Got so late and he would have made it, so, that makes sense. But here we go, Dustin, going to complete lap 36. There was a lot of movement. I kept getting sidetracked in my pref reel. It's just a lot of bad bumps. The leader almost wrecked on turn 3. Here comes the number 9 now, Jimmy Hop. He goes way wide for no reason. Now the 17 is going to bump in the left rear. Be careful of that. 3 wide mid-pack as well. Action all over.
Yeah, action all over, and that's what I was looking is about that mid-pack there. We were actually looking at Derek Donna. I know that the chats were asking if he was racing. He is racing, trying to play that safe game right now, but I don't know how safe that is. Was 3 wide momentarily, now 2 wide, now back to 3 wide. You got Giffen up top, Butler in the center. You got Donna down on the low side, so a lot of movement, Jeremy, and typically more movement than we expect to see out of these cars here. 3 wide here up near the front. Everett Lane going to be on that low side. Vicente Guerrero in the center. The 9 of Jimmy Hop up on the top side as they're trying to work their way through. Looks like Jimmy Hop getting a little bit of wall scrape there. And a lot of movement, Jeremy. These cars seem uncomfortable at the moment.
Did you watch the checkup and cut from Andrew Schroeder to the front of the 99 at Giffen? Oh my gosh, that was probably not caught on camera because it's so far back. It was still
I was
wide
watching the bump from the 922 of Cornwell to Jimmy Reynolds in the 17, and both of those cars got loose and almost lost it. And then the 59 of John Guerrera gets loose coming out of the corner, and that pushes the 71 of Sean McCara down low. Now there's contact, and there goes Guerrera. He's going around, and here's the big one. This is going to collect 5, 6, about 8, 10 cars right now, Jeremy, as that caution flies.
Dustin, this was brewing and brewing. You saw before the trial, we had 2 cars below the yellow lane in different moments, and they merged back up, and the first car that in line on the inside below the yellow was the one who made that contact once he came back up the track. Big wreck here on lap 39, and we're going to have quite a few camera angles to review and go over. This is not a good ride. This was just, here we go. Here's the 59.
Well, we
Your,
got to go back. So we're going to do a little Nerd TV rewind because this started out of 4. I mean, it started like
it started 5 laps
yeah,
ago.
like 5 laps ago, but it actually started right here out of the turn. You see, I mean, a lot of movement here,
Wow,
and the 59 is just trying to follow the 78 of Chris Jordan, and he gets loose. Now, what that does is that makes contact with the 71 of McCara, forces McCara to go down low. Well, McCara's got to rejoin the surface, so he's trying to rejoin the surface. You see Mark Mann gets shuffled low, and as McCara comes back up on the surface, the 59 is right there. Contact is made, and that's what starts this whole thing. After that, it is everybody checking up. Bergeron checks up. Everlane has to check up, and then it's just accordion effect. We're 5 wide down here right after the start-finish line. There you see the 911 goes around. Bergeron goes around. The 60, which is the 960, goes around. Mark Mann is collected in that one as well. Goes down to the inside, makes slight contact with, it looks like, Nate Warren down there. So, I mean, just a lot of checking up here and just drivers with nowhere to go. There you see Rothery getting involved in it as well. So, yeah, a lot of drivers getting involved in this situation.
You know, Sean McCara said it's usually not a bad time when you get pulled to the broadcast booth. How funny would it be if I pulled him right back up and said, "Hey, bro, how was that merge?"
You know what? And you're leading, man. I work the cameras. You just tell me what you're doing.
That would be quite funny. Don't know if I'm going to do it to him that quick. That would be, because we get a grill full of the 88 Gabe Butler on this camera angle here. Cool camera angle. But, okay, we're just going to be sponsoring this segment by Chevrolet.
That's right.
And we're getting all the Camaros. Run over the cameras. Here. And there's another
And
Chevrolet.
the Batmobile.
See,
The
another
Batmobile
one.
of Mark Mann.
Yeah, the Chevrolet camera full effect here tonight on the front straightaway. Not planned. I make Dustin run Fords. That's the only reason why he runs them. Outside of that, he would be a Chevrolet guy, so it doesn't surprise me he's fixated on all these Chevrolet bow ties out here on pit road on lap
You didn't know that the
41.
pit camera was sponsored by Chevy? I mean, when you look at it, when 2/3 of the field is all the gold bow ties, you have very, very minimal blue ovals right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Fords, 2 Toyotas, and the rest are Chevys. just to throw that out there, and just to make things even better, just so you guys kind of know what it is. It's pretty one-sided for sure.
Dustin is no longer allowed to tell me he's broke when he says he has a Chevrolet sponsorship. So with that being said,
And just to add insult to injury, now it's no longer a split. Now we're actually showing the car manufacturer logos. You can see how many bow ties there are.
rigged. That's all we are. Look at that, just 5 bow ties at the top of the screen. There's two Toyotas out here. Two of them. And you don't see them because it's all Chevrolets for the rest, for the most part. A couple of Mustangs. Show me some love. Watch this top split. Ready? What do we got? We got the interval still up. Never mind. He's hiding the facts.
I'm hiding the facts because we're going to sit here and shout out our 2 proud Toyota drivers. The 59 of John Guerrera, and the other one is the 48 right there, our Yankees man of Andrew Schroeder. The only 2 proud Toyota drivers out there. Like I said, 6 Fords. The rest are all Chevy bow ties.
It is indeed true. And we are 1 to go here. Lining them back up for the restart on lap 43. We're going to shout out our first verbal shout out, one of our partners that does not have a rotating sponsor. I have not shouted them out for a couple weeks. I need to get it through. Dusty Pete's Gifts and Collectibles. DustyPete's.com is the website you will go to during or after this broadcast tonight if you're looking to pick up anything comic book wise, action figure wise, collectible trading cards, Funko Pops, just whatever nerdy you're looking for. Even NASCAR diecast too. Not a plethora of options on that category, but there is some, and they're cool. So look at them over at DustyPete's.com. Promotion code Super Nerd will save you 15% of your online purchase of $20 or more. That once more is DustyPete's.com.
Absolutely, as the pace lights are out on the pace car. They are lining it back up again, Jeremy. So we are counting down. These drivers are now at that point where they have to start moving and positioning themselves, because some of these moves, if you're further back, are going to take a little bit to get back going again.
Off of turn 4 here. Third or 922 Cornwell is taking the outside lane on this restart. Looks like he'll be a race leader. Lane choice is allowed as a race leader, and he's going to take it. 3, 2, 1. Green. This thing is back out underway here. Don't switch your lane. That was kind of an entrance to switching your lane. We'll see what the admins have to say about that. That could go either way. They won't call it now. Of course, it'll be called after the fact, but here we go into turn number 1 now. The 17 is going to bring 1 to 2 others with them as the rest of the field closes up behind them. The 37 is going to follow the 922, exit of turn 2. Clean restart here through the gears.
Yeah, clean restart. 37 is Ryan Whitaker right now. And Jeremy, look at this top, even the top 10 right now. Most of your drivers are some of your biggest movers. Jimmy Reynolds up 10. Randy Cornwell up 22. Ryan Whitaker up 28. Chris Jordan up 20. Dalton Wilson up 30. He's running 5th. Back in P8, Kenny Bishop up 22. Chris Lewis in 9th up 25. These drivers have put themselves in contention right now by virtue of cautions, pit stops, and whatever strategy calls they're making. They have put themselves in contention right now. Your biggest movers are currently, a lot of them, in your top 10 to top 12.
3 wide for about 15th place as they're exiting turn number 2 here. Still 3 wide. Lowry on the outside, Sean McCarry in the middle, and Les Levy on the bottom. Still 3 wide into turn 3. 1 row, in fact, has that. As Sean is going to get a little gain here. The 06, he's going to go 3 wide as Jimmy Hop now bangs off the wall once more. He is married to that outside wall, the 9 car is. He's hit that thing by himself about 5 to 10 times here this evening. Lap 44, complete 45 now going as they're barreling off turn number 1.
Yeah, 26 laps to go. So says the tattletale little green box in the top left. The 922, Randy Cornwell still leading the way. Ryan Whitaker doing a fantastic job. Oh, Harold Rothery gets turned again. Sean McCarra involved in that one. Oh, big time contact. Wow, caution comes out again. We were just looking at that area. They were 3 wide back there. And then just chaos ensues. We'll have to see what happened on this one. Looked like Rothery was following the 6 of Bubba Winningham. And looked like McCarra was coming up there. Almost looked like he was going to go in the center. And, yep, just slight contact there between the 71 and 06. Sent the 06 down right in front of Les Levy. And then McCarra just cleans out the rear bumper on that one. And then the 06 of Rothery comes back up, just misses Jeff Crosby Sr. Straightens it back out, though. Slight contact there with the 911. That's going to be Tim Abrell. But everything looks good there. Man, that could have been way worse, Jeremy, with the way that Rothery was coming back up. But he was able to straighten that thing back out. So good hands by the 06.
Yeah, it's twice now. The 06 had nothing to do with his wrecks, and we've put a dark cloud over Sean McCarra. Maybe Sean did it himself. He said, "You're only talking to me if it's good." And then after he leaves our channel, he has now caused the next 2 wrecks right after that moment. So,
well,
71's got some damage. He had his fast repair used, and he's got more repairs now after the fact.
He had a hand in on the first one, but that one wasn't entirely his fault. There was contact from the 59 after getting loose out of 4 that pushed him down below the yellow, and he had to try to remerge back up, and that spot was just,
strong.
It just happened to be taken.
That's a strong merge.
It's, That one there, though, that was definitely left rear contact from the 71 on that one that brought that one out. So yeah, we might have put the broadcaster's curse on the 71 of McCara there. So we'll have to see what happens. Number of drivers coming down pit road now. Randy Cornwell, Ryan Whitaker, Dalton Wilson, Nate Warren elect to stay out. Gabe Butler, your first driver, off pit road after taking service from his virtual pit crew. So that's going to line those drivers up, Jeremy. Now, they still will have to make another pit stop because we were just working 25 laps to go. There's no way they're going to be able to stretch that. We know that. But 17 to 18 is that pit window. But this allows them that if they do elect a short pit, that's just a little less gas they have to put in there to make it to the end or make it to green-white checkers, which means less time on pit road. So it can save them a little bit on pit road.
As we're going to take, I think, our potential final picture-in-picture commercial break. We'll be back for the drop of the green flag.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful, booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy jerky. The original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair.
Back full screen here as we're about to get the restart on lap 49. Randy Cornwell once more leading the field to the green flag. The number 71, Sean McCara, his car has succumbed to the damages of both wrecks, and so he has parked it for this evening for the driver of the 71. And it is the only driver backing out of tonight's event from that last drive. Oh, Jimmy Hop just smashed the wall right before his... That was a weird one. His car is completely gone. I don't know if he's disconnected or not, but we're going back green flag. Randy Cornwell quickly back to the inside lane as he chooses the outside. And now he's going to lead himself and the 37, Ryan Whitaker, and teammate 929 of Dalton Wilson on the inside here. So we're going Space Panda drone cam, Dustin.
Yeah, got to take a view of these cars as they are cruising at 190 plus mile an hour down the backstretch right now. Sending it off into turn 3, Jeremy. 22 laps to go for these drivers. And like I said, this is the time now that these guys got to start thinking and start positioning themselves for that final run to try to give them the opportunity to make the move to possibly go for tonight's win of the Jeff Crosby Jr. at Daytona. So we will have to see what happens with that.
Continue to fly through this thing. Off in a turn number 1 they go. Dustin not only flying a drone camera at 190 miles an hour, he's doing it backwards as he finally lands it. And we'll now focus on the race lead once more here. Back straightaway, 922 inside, 16 of Warren on the outside. Slight door contact potentially with a 37 and 49. As Kenny Bishop has found himself back into the top 5 here, Dustin, with now 20 to go at the line.
Yeah, 20 to go at the line, but right now that 922, Randy Cornwell has a commanding presence on that inside line, and just 2 drivers behind him, Dalton Wilson in the 929, that's his teammate. So we got teammates separated by the 37 of Ryan Whitaker. You got Nate Warren with big pushes from the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds, and then Kenny Bishop up there on that top side. And that is your 3 cars, both on the inside and outside lane as they work their way through the corner, Jeremy.
So side by side, pretty aggressive field right now. If this goes green flag the rest of the way, only 1 more pit stop will be mandated before this thing is all said and done. And based off of averages, we're probably going to see 1 more between now and the pit stop cycle. Hopefully not, but stay tuned for the next 6 laps, which will put them into that area where they don't need to come down pit road anymore. And at that time, like we saw before stage and like we usually do, Dustin, we will see the cars start dipping down pit road probably with about 10 or 11 laps to go.
Yeah, and I mean, theoretically, with about 17 to go, 16 to go, they can make it to the end with a little bit of buffer. I wouldn't be surprised if some drivers try to short pit it to try to put themselves in contention further out. We had drivers try that before the end of stage 1, and it didn't work out because we had about 6 drivers stay out, and the caution came out, and that's where Sean McCara was able to nab himself a stage win for tonight's event. So it'll be interesting to see, but I can tell you right now, drivers that are not even worrying about pitting is everybody on that outside line, currently led by the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. And you know what? I have to sit here and shout that guy out because he has got my favorite band on his freaking car, and I just seen that. Jimmy Reynolds with the Metallica on the car, so I love it. Excellent to see that.
That's a pretty sweet paint scheme too. The lightning all over it. Of course, his car his car spec layer is completely garbage, but the car itself, if it had full color, would be quite amazing to look at here. As he's leading the outside charge here. 16 was at the line first. 17 was there second place last lap. As we're going to complete this lap, head off into 17 to go. Can Kenny get the 17 of Reynolds to the race lead? And it looks like he will this time. Your favorite band, P1, Dustin.
Absolutely. Big pushes on that outside. 17 and 49 working very well together. 49, big pushes, gets Jimmy Reynolds clear. He drops down. That leaves Kenny Bishop on the outside with help from the 78 of Chris Jordan. Jordan, now your pusher on that outside line. And Rick Sanchez, third in line, is now you see, was third in line. Drivers, Jeremy, I guarantee you, getting ready to come down pit road as we are nearing that point of safe return. If it goes green the rest of the way, if they come down pit road, anytime from this point forward, that pit window is open. And as I say that, here comes your first takers, your short pitters for this evening. Sanchez, Nate Warren, Dana Shepard coming down, Mark Mann, Andrew Schroeder, and Les Levy, your first short pitters of the night coming down pit road. That's going to leave Jimmy Reynolds and Kenny Bishop leading your inside and outside lanes.
I feel like that's just a little too early, Dustin. It's just if we get the green-white checkered, you said the window's 16, 17 laps. Like, I don't see the breathing room for a potential green-white checkered overtime. So we'll find out. It's right on the mark. Now everyone knows that the window is open, seeing that group of drivers come down, if they weren't already aware of that, which most of them are. But we do have some new drivers, so they're still trying to figure out the rules. Like, there were some questions with the stage break at the halfway mark. But this time, here we go. Brown number 2 of pit stops. Looks about 10, 11 cars. all over the place. Gabe Butler almost makes contact with Randy, but it looks like it's a clean entry through and through.
Yeah, your second takers here, and Jeremy, like I said, the first set of short pitters that did come down, they would have enough to make it to the end if it goes green. But remember, under pace laps and everything else, you don't burn as much fuel either, so you can conserve. It is a gamble. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it does not. But it's something that we are accustomed to seeing at super speedway racing, is that short pitting effect. And it's not a bad call, because we've seen a lot of these races go with minimal cautions, and we've seen them go all the way to the end from this point without any cautions. Here comes your next group, led by Kenny Bishop right now. So you got about 7 cars coming down. It's going to be Kenny Bishop, Chris Jordan, Kyle Ethier, Tim Abrell, Harold Rothery, Justin Coy, and Len McNeese coming down this time. So that is going to leave Gary Bergeron, John Guerrero, Jeff Crosby Sr. They are left out right now. Kilday is not on the lead lap, but he is leading this group here, and what that's doing is saving them a little bit of that precious fuel.
Yep, sure is. As they continue the draft, they're definitely good now for the green, white, checkered, without a question of a doubt. So they're going to go a little racy here as Alex Giff in the 99. Too wide. That's a questionable move, knowing you only have 6 drivers in this pack. That's going to cause a parachute for this this group of cars. They'd like not to come down pit road this time, Dustin. This is not good for overall speed. This will maybe hinder them even potentially battling for, in the main pack when they get back to it.
Yeah, and it very well could, but right now, this is the best time to strike if you are Giffen and Hunt. They are not on the lead lap. They are trying to earn it back the hard way right now, hoping that they can put themselves ahead.
Mark Man.
Before a wreck comes out and a caution comes out, and that does not happen. And that's not what they were looking for. Big wreck. Mark Mann involved. Jimmy Reynolds involved. This was that group that was the second group that came down pit road, Jeremy.
Yeah, Kyle Ether as well, right behind Kenny Bishop. I was watching him, our caffeine team nerdy sports driver, and it just happened literally right behind him as Mark Mann had a little contact. I didn't see with who exactly, as we're going to see it on the Nerd TV replay, the 04 here, and looks like him and Lane Everett going to get together. But initial contact, was it with Shepard or was it with the guy behind there in the 14, Vincent Guerrero? And a little domino effect. The 04
might have checked up. He might have checked up a little bit for the 43.
He did.
And the 14 was not expecting that. Tried to pull it to the right and ended up scuffing the bumper, and that's what got the 04 loose there. And then Everett Lane getting pulled involved in that one there. Mark Mann hard. Oh, Kenny Bishop just misses it. The 960 gets involved, and there you see the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds gets involved. And then everybody trying to scatter to miss the cars.
Yeah, second look for sure. Vincent Guerrero just, forgot to check up there and going to cause this wreck here in turn number 3 on lap 57. So now everyone's 100% good to go on fuel because they got their pace laps in, shutting off the engines, coasting, running the bottom of the track like you see there, whatever they got to do to make it to the end. And I think we're going to bring in Dustin, our caffeine team driver, Kenny Bishop, who just missed that wreck, as he's in there talking to my brother, probably about 3 large pizzas. Here. Kenny, this is Jeremy again in the booth. What's up?
We made it up to the top 10, brother.
You barely missed that wreck. I know it started to evolve right in front of you. How worried were you when the 4 came back down the track?
I wasn't worried about him coming down. I was waiting for him, honestly, to wash up, and he never did. And I just kind of let them wreck themselves and just slowly get on by there. So it worked out. Speaking of, you're all talking about Toyotas earlier. I got to give it up to Andrew. He's repping a Toyota, the Yankees, and the Jets. That's impressive. That's ballsy.
Typical New York fashion, baby.
He's driving here.
There we go. That's a good shout out. That's a stat I didn't even think about. So there you go. I'm thinking of all the other side of facts there. You've led a lap, man. You've led 1 or 2. You came down pit road, clean pit stop. You're looking like you have a good shot at this thing. What's it going to take for you to maintain that pace?
Jesus, I almost got hit by a lucky dog. Wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna see if I can maybe get behind Gabe, Vicente here, and see if we can maybe make our way up to the front. We kind of pushed our way up there the last time, so see if we can do that again. High side's got some movement as long as you got some pushing going on. So I think if we get a couple of us up here, we'll be able to push our way up to the front.
All right, man. You got the game plan. Hopefully, you keep that car looking clean. And hopefully we'll talk to you at the end of this thing. And I'll bring you back to my brother, which I know you guys are talking about 4 large pizzas down there. So I'll let you get back to it.
You know it, man. Just getting ready for Sunday. Just preparing what other sides they need to bring. You know, he's informed me the game plan.
And garlic nuts, right?
Well, it's a good thing.
Yeah,
It's a good thing
exactly.
you guys have the game plan because we obviously know Jeremy drops the ball on game plan. So
No, it's the perfect amount.
Literally the perfect amount. All right, man. We'll talk to you after.
All right, brother.
the perfect amount. Literally, everybody gets 1.5 slices. It's good.
Yep, the perfect amount. Nothing, no leftovers. Everyone left happy. So I thought.
Did they though? Did they?
They, you know, when you have extra hungry people, and they expected to have leftovers, and they didn't have it there. You know, that's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Whatever makes you sleep better at night, my man. Whatever makes you sleep better
right.
at night.
Come with less of an appetite. That's that's what's up.
So what are you expecting, Jeremy, from this restart? We know drivers are good to make it to the checkered flag in regulation on fuel alone. What do you think we can expect out of these final closing laps of the Jeff Crosby Jr. Daytona?
We're gonna see some more 3-wide. We're gonna see a very shaky outside because they, for some reason, cannot have back-to-back laps of just being uniform and bumper to bumper. We're probably gonna see another caution, and I expect someone outside. I'm gonna say from 5th to 10th, anywhere from 5th to 10th. So I want to give it to Vicente Guerrero all the way to Justin Coy. I think one of those guys are going to be your tonight's race winner. That's my call.
I gotta laugh at Brian. Not your fault. Who orders 18 slices of pizza for 12 people? Like I said, 1.5 slices a piece, man. Give or take. But not your fault. I'm with you, Brian. I'm with you. I'm siding with you guys on this one.
I brought the food, not the appetites. Okay. I also brought cake. There was a huge cake, so.
Oh
That's all
my
I'm
goodness.
saying.
You're never gonna live it down.
Fully engaged. No,
Never.
I told myself I was never going to conversate about this again, but since it got brought up for this Sunday, then of course I have to. But after Sunday, it is done. It is dead. I will not relive it. And here we go. 9 laps to go. Which, by the way, hopefully he marks my word on that. It is not a conversation piece. But here we go. I say from 5th to 10th. Dustin, who you got here? Who's your pick?
I think honestly right now anybody in that catbird seat. So I would say from Vicente Guerrero back. You see Gabe Butler moves to that top side. I mean, these drivers here, we haven't seen that third lane really work in at this point in time. We know that top side, as long as you can get some pushes, we heard it from Kenny Bishop, they can get a run going. We've seen a lot of drivers clear the bottom lane on that top side and move down. Caution. You see Sanchez come out, caution comes out, and this is going to sit here and throw a monkey wrench in this plan because it's going to cut those laps down.
Yeah, I expected a wreck. I called that one. Let's see if the rest. This is a big one, Dustin. The 84. What's going on with this? Let's check out this.
Jimmy Reynolds again. He just got the faster pair done. Wipes out the 111. Jimmy Reynolds, the 15 of Crosby Sr. The 9 of Hop is involved. The 929 gets a piece of that one as well. Mark Mann as well. He gets a huge piece. I say that's going to cancel out any efforts at a 4th win for the season. There is just carnage everywhere. 85 at Kilday trying to miss it and does for he gets a piece of it. The 99 at Giffen misses it. It looks like the 24 Everett Lane kind of sits here and works his way through, but look at the carnage on the track. They're still bouncing off, Jeremy. That was wild. We're going to have to go back and take a look. We're going to rewind that back a little bit on the 84. Did he get wall glued?
No,
He got stuffed. He got kind of stuffed in the wall a little bit there by the 111. 111 drifts up. Yep. Lewis drifts up, makes contact. That's going to put the 84 into the wall right there, and then he bounces off the wall, and just chaos ensues after that.
Yeah, it's just a real tough moment there. 111 had a lot of space on the bottom. Maybe he just kind of misjudged where the 27 was. And so he kept it on that top lane. He was also in the draft. He was trying to draft Bubba Winningham as well. So I kind of get why he kept the 84 so close to the outside wall. But you were car high, so it gave the 84 very, very amount of wiggle room. Technically, there was a car with the space, right? So he gave it to him. 84 just ran out of track. And the second big one here tonight is going to involve, I think, close to 10 drivers in total. So a lot of repairs to be done on this round of pit stops.
Yeah, and like I said, that's going to shorten up that green flag window, so these drivers they're going to probably be a little bit more aggressive, Jeremy. I would expect a little bit more aggression on this one here because they're only going to have a few laps to try to make it to the end to get to that checkered flag. So on the YouTube side, Steve Hoppett says, sorry, Mark, spectator curse. At least it's not just the commentator curse, so... I appreciate you there, Steve, taking a little bit of the blunt there because I feel like we've kind of passed that on to a couple drivers, McCara being one of them tonight as well. So we'll have to see what's going on. Right now, your top 5 as they run is going to be Sanchez, Guerrero, Gabe Butler, Nate Warren, and Les Levy is your top 5. Further back on your top 10 is going to be Dana Shepard, Tim Abrell, Andrew Schroeder, Kenny Bishop, and Derek Donna. That is your top 10 restart right now for the Jeff Crosby Jr. at Tona. And again, Jeremy, I still say that that the winner is going to come from at least probably the second row on back with the way it works out, depending how quick they get up to speed and how these moves work. Again, we've seen some attempts at a third lane, but none haven't really been successful.
There hasn't been that many takers. It's the only guys that have been up there have just been shoved up there or had a bad handling moment or someone up pushed the issue through right up the middle. It's just, it hasn't been like natural occurrences where someone's like, hey, we need to go to the third lane and shift it up there. So we're going to see it on this next restart. We're going to have to see it. It's just, if you're in 10th place on back and you're looking to maybe get a win, you're going to have 5 laps to go to get it done. You're going to have to make some moves that you normally wouldn't, and that third lane has to open up. And so we'll see who does it. We know some drivers will do it. We know Kenny Bishop's done it in the past. Maybe that's what we're going to see at Bubba Winningham. He might have a great chance. He starts on the outside way back there, back behind 10.
Gabe Butler is one that's not afraid to take it to the third lane if necessary. Yeah, Vicente Guerrero, I would say, is another one, but he's already restarting in that second lane up front. So, there's a number of drivers that are in that top 10 alone that we know for a fact we have called that are not afraid. Nate Warren's another one, not afraid to take it to that third lane either.
Yeah. So multiple guys possibly will do it. You're going to have to, like I said, unless you're just out there trying to avoid the wreck. That's also the strategy as well. You know, there's a great potential for a wreck on the last lap. Sometimes that plays beneficial if you just take it easy. So half a lap left, Dustin. We're going to go back to green flag here shortly. We're going to shout out one of our partners here, raceepi.com, Elite Performance Industries. If you're looking to pick up a checker flag, you know, this season coming up, season 3 of the 2025 iRacing season, go ahead and do so. And you're going to do it by going to this website, raceepi.com. Pick up whatever car setup you're looking for. They have every single car, I do believe, or at least most of the active ones in the simulation. And then do it and get yourself a checker flag. So here we go. Corner of lap left, going back to green flag. The race leader, number 5, Rick Sanchez, to the outside, the 14, Vicente Guerrero. Who will get the job done here?
Yeah, pace car pulls off. We are getting ready to get the green flag on the restart. The 5 of Sanchez leading the way. Restart zone in effect. Green flag flies. 5 of Sanchez, clean start. Your pusher on that inside, Gabe Butler. Pusher on the outside is Nate Warren. Vicente Guerrero trying to get some speed built up. Now it will take out all the way through turns 1 and the exit of turn 2 to get that top lane built up to speed. But on corner exit of 2, you will see them start to move forward and start being a contender right now. And that's where Sanchez may have to play a little defense, try to sit here and work both lanes depending on the run. But he stays low with Gabe Butler and Les Levy in line. The 14 of Guerrero pushing from Nate Warren in the 43 of Dana Shepard on that outside, trying to get something going. Jeremy, 5 laps to go as they go through 3 and 4.
Nate Warren has notified everyone that his iRacing cautions only from this point forward as their friendly reminder. So 4 laps remaining in the Jeff Crosby Jr. at Daytona. No 3 wide still to be found, except for right now as one car out of shape. Contact 59. John Guerrero gets wrecked. Here we go. Big wreck. Number 3 of the night in turn number 1. 59 upside down, turtling and rolling goes the Toyota of the 59. And Dustin, we're going to have to go for this one here. This just one
They're
car
still
out of
wrecking.
shape. Number 2 goes to the outside. Forces some things as they get to turn number 1, and chaos ensues.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that wreck there just wiped out half of the Toyota team out there. Poor Guerrero that was there, man. He went for one heck of a ride on that one as we're going to ride with the 2 here, kind of see what happens. As they go in, Gary Bergeron is moving up. The 2 is up on that high side as they work through the corners here. Oh, where are we at?
This is after the fact, right?
Well after the fact. That is your awesome producer not even picking the right caution, because you know that's what I do.
I was kind of curious.
Oh yeah, you know I dropped the ball. We all can't be perfect, damn it.
It's okay. You do a fantastic job. I'm not even going to blink an eye at this one. But here we go. We're right back to it in motion. Here, TV rewind. Here's a different look here from the camera angle posted in turn 1. It's set 37.
Ooh, 37
He just
drifts up. Yeah, right into Bubba Winningham and John Guerrera. He goes down into Chris Jordan there. The 27 just rails John Guerrera on that one there, and then just everything just falls apart. The 85 of Kilday involved in that one makes contact with the 37 of Whitaker. 111 gets through. 27 to Everett Lane gets a piece of that one. We know that Jim Hopp gets a piece of that one as well. As you see Harold Rothery up top. Cornwell gets involved in that one, and Guerrera goes for a heck of a ride on that one there.
Yeah, wild ride going upside down here. Oakley visor camera. What it looks like as a driver to go upside down. Turn 1 at Daytona. Up and over. There's a cartwheel onto the lid. That hood is just doing everything but falling off the car. And comes to a rest just below the double yellow line there in the center of 1 and 2. That was a pretty good view there from the Oakley visor cameras.
Absolutely, Jeremy. And this is going to set up for a wild finish, if it hasn't already been wild enough. It's we had 5 laps to go on that restart, Jeremy. This is going to set it up. This should be officially the first green-white checkered attempt for these drivers. Remember, there are 2 green-white checkered attempts for the OP Buttkicker Grand National Series here on Wednesdays, presented by Icon Apparel Company. So this will be one of 2. And the goal is to get the green flag, go around and get the white flag, and then that means that the checkered flag will be the one that ends the race.
Yep, and my brother does know math. He said there has been more cautions than slices of pizza. So I'm glad he touched up on his first grade math, and there you go. There's that.
Brotherly love at its finest.
There you go. Have to do it. Got to get my stab in, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to go one more lap back to green flag for that first of 2 attempts, as you just mentioned. And do we see a third caution? I think we do. I think whatever update has been had, I don't know if it's just drivers and a certain mentality tonight, but they have been more aggressive than ever, and it is clearly showing.
Yeah, and I mean we've seen the connection issues since the iRacing official update that was pushed out yesterday to every PC and anybody that connects to the service. We've seen that happen, but Jeremy, a lot of that has got to be into play of what we talked about earlier. Points are now starting to get to that point where you need to focus on them a little bit more. We're coming up on halfway through the regular season. Some of these drivers, a win is what's going to be needed on that. They're going to need that win in order to get done what they need to. Every point's going to count. So this is for some people, this is do or die. They need those points. That's why they race so hard for that stage as well, to be in that top 10, because every point matters.
Every point absolutely does matter. And when it gets closer and closer to the playoffs, this might even amp up even more. So half a lap left here. Gabe Butler, Rick Sanchez will lead the field to the green flag. The rest of the top 10 stands is Les Levy, Vicente Guerrero, Timothy Abreu, Nathan Warren, Dana Shepard, Kenny Bishop, Andrew Schroeder, and Eric Lowry. Those 10 guys are in a great shot and a good seat to pick up a win here this evening for the 6th race of the OP Buttkicker Grand National Series. Who's going to do it? Who's not going to do it? Nuts Pie on YouTube likes my pizza analogies. My senior pizza correspondent, Brian Stanley, can agree to that as well.
Absolutely. As again, they're never going to let you live that one down. They're just not.
It's done after Sunday.
Maybe for you, my man. Maybe for you. I don't think it's done for them.
It's done.
So says Jeremy.
Green flag is out. I lose my producer's feed on the right-hand screen. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm going to try to continue on this here. As I get a good restart through 3rd gear now. As I got my feedback, very good. And 4th gear coming through right about now. Very clean restart. Ooh, as soon as I hit the 1462, they almost make contact with one another. This is going to get interesting, Dustin. Do we still see 3 wide? It's a good chance we might see that 49 do it.
Yeah, it's at this point in time, 2 laps to go.
Daytona. 215 smashes the inside wall. I think did he save it? No, he didn't.
No, he doesn't. But again, iRacing cautions only. There's that 3rd lane trying to work in right now. Gary Bergeron trying to get something going. 2 wide. Sanchez Butler up front leading the pack right now. Does that 3rd lane come in? They're trying to make it to the line. White flag flies. We will end it with only 1 green, white, checkered. Next flag will be the checkered flag. Sanchez leading the way. Big pushes from Les Levy on that inside. Vicente Guerrero, big pushes to Gabe Butler on the outside. And Nate Warren holding back about a half a car length right now as they work their way out of 2. Bergeron still trying. Nate Warren finally makes the move up top. Kenny Bishop follows him. There comes that 3rd lane. Gabe Butler moves down to the inside. Nate Warren, big pushes, clears the 14 on the high side. Down to the center right now. It's going to leave Kenny Bishop there, but the 16 and Nate Warren. Oh, contact. That's going to slow him up right now. Caution, not going to come out. Big time wreck as we're still got a race going to the end here right now. 4-car battle. Gabe Butler will win tonight's race.
By 1/1000th of a second, Kenny Bishop goes 4th place. Rick Sanchez is your 3rd place finisher. Man, that was a nice little battle there to the line. But Gabe Butler, this man knows how to get it done. He's going to start P1. He's going to finish P1. Good job by the driver, the number 88. Nathan Warren comes home 2nd place after a 3rd massive wreck here this evening.
Yeah, that wreck started in turn 3 to 3.5 and just followed all the way out. Finally gave way coming out of 4, and 4 cars were able to clear it that were up in that pack, that being Butler, Warren, Sanchez, and Bishop. all were able to clear it, and then it was a drag race to the finish line with Gabe Butler stealing tonight's win.
And this wreck all started by the 911 Timothy Abreu giving the bump, third car in lane. You can't do that at Daytona and Talladega. You cannot bump third in lane in the middle of the corner. Causes the big one, and allowed for that little 4-car shootout to finish this thing off. And as the 14 is still parked, no, he's parked. No, never mind. There we go. Live feed 88. He's got the 071 Lowry on track with him, but he's going to do some burnouts in some weird places here as he drives backwards. And as we do that, we're going to go over the unofficial results here tonight's race for race number 6 of the OP Buttkicker Series, season number 3, and Gabe Butler P1, Nathan Warren, Rick Sanchez. We'll talk to him in just a little bit. Kenny Bishop in 4th, Adam Kilday 5th, Andrew Schroeder in 6th, Anthony English in 7th, Timothy Jordan 8th, Justin Coy 9th, Dalton Wilson finishes off the top 10. 11 through 20 is Chris Lewis, Les Levy, Eric Lowry, Dwayne Corbett, Gary Bergeron, Vicente Guerrero, Timothy Abreu, Bubba Winningham, Sean Stevens, and Dana Shepard. And 21st on back, all finished 1 lap down or more. And that's Jeff Crosby Sr., Derek Donna, Alex Giffen, Mike Edgerton, Harold Rothery, Ryan Whitaker, Randy Cornwall, John Guerrero, Len McNeese, Everett Lane, Andy Berganti, Dave Hunt, Jimmy Hop, Jimmy Reynolds, Mark Mann, Kyle Ether, Sean McCara, Douglas Johnson, and Alex Green. And that's it. That's your finishing results for race number 6. We're going to go full screen, gather up our top 3, and we'll be right back. And welcome here, guys, for the post-race show presented by Victory Fuel. And we're going to gather up our top 3 first and foremost. The driver, the number 5, eking out Kenny Bishop by 1/1000th of a second. Rick Sanchez, congrats on P3, man.
Oh, thanks, guys. I was pretty close. I just went but watched the replay, and it's like, holy cow, that was close for third. I think that's as close as I've ever seen before for a position.
Yeah, a couple times you get really that close at Daytona and Talladega. Things can happen that way. Yeah, you had the little draft help. It definitely propelled you past that. But good job on your part, man. You stayed pretty clean all night. Hadn't really had you too much screen time just because so, minus the fact that you were up front all night. So what took you to stay up front all night?
I started off up front, and then once we got going, I realized I didn't have a spotter or crew chief going. So coming to the pits, I had to get that going. That put me at the back. And then I was just kind of hanging out and trying to, work my way going forward a little bit at a time and get back to the front. And finally got back up there, and then just good hard racing at the end. And Gabe did a good job getting where he needed to be to pull it out. It was a good job.
Yeah, you did a great job there. I don't feel like it took you too long. I mean, I don't remember the exact lap counts or anything, but I feel like you were kind of in contention there all night. When you got back to the front, what was your mindset of trying to get that checker flag, or were you content with just kind of helping some drivers out?
Just trying to judge where people are going to be, looking who's going to be the pusher, Is it going to be Vinny? Is it going to be Gabe, and trying to pick the right lane there. And Gabe moved up there at the end of one of the restarts there, and I think that got him in a good spot. And then to get him put, that last drop down in front of me. And then me and Les lost the third guy behind us, which, that third car helps a lot with the draft. And yeah, I don't know how I got that third place back from Kenny. That was pretty close.
Yeah, very close finish there after avoiding the massive one on turn 3. But man, congrats on the third place. Any shout outs you want to give out?
Shout out to the family. Nesby is my wife over there, and Delva Feltz is my mom. And also want to give a shout out to Lynn, my wife's sister. And shout out to everybody over here, Nerditudes. You guys do a great job on these broadcasts. Love it. And then out to OP, putting on a great show, or great league for us. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate the kind words, sir. Have a good rest of your night, and we'll catch you next Wednesday.
All right, guys. Catch you next time.
Yes, sir. Rick Sanchez, driver the number 5 P3 tonight. Now we're going to bring in the number 16, Nate Warren, who finishes second place. Nate, congrats on a great, solid finish here tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Rough season.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't spoke to you much. And tonight you kind of changed the script a little bit. You started mid-pack, and then we found you up at the front kind of early, and you've kind of hung up there. So what was your game plan coming into tonight to kind of reverse the not-so-good start to the season?
Yeah, I definitely plan on being a little conservative, but, I mean, that's not what happened. Twice I went from, 30th to first by staying out, and then was able to keep my spot through the pit stops. And, but yeah, it was lap 43. I was P30. I was like, all right, P30, lap 43. Here we go. Where are we going to finish? I thought I had it there. If we kept it together, I've been telling Gabe, I had you. I had him.
Yeah, you're in 100th of a second away, 6/100ths.
No, if we didn't lose it, we were pretty organized.
Yeah, right. Go back to what you said there just a minute ago. Driver's mentality. You said you wanted to go conservative, but then you said you just went from 30th to first. So how hard is it as a driver to be conservative at a racetrack where you can be up front?
Well, sometimes, the strategy I like to get your nose as far ahead as you can and hope it happens behind you. So in a sense, staying out was the conservative move because it was putting me out of Dodge both times. And I, got my fast repair on me still.
Finishing P2 with the fast repair. That's a very good job overall, man. Congrats on the great finish. Yes, sir. Any final shout-outs you want to give out before we let you go?
Shout out to my smoking hot wife. Just had our 5-year anniversary yesterday. And
congrats, man.
Yep. Shout out to the big G upstairs. And thank you guys for broadcasting this. You guys do a very kick-butt job.
Appreciate
and
it.
Your boy Kenny B almost took me out right there. You can talk to him.
Yeah, that was a.
If memory serves me right, you got a good shot there that puts you up leading that second lane. So
no, almost. I had to save it a little bit. I was like, oh, he didn't drive through me, so it worked out. We got the podium.
He wouldn't do it if he didn't think that you wouldn't be able to hold it.
Who got it between Rick and Kenny?
Rick. 1/1000.
Oh, really?
Yes, 1/1000th of a second.
Kenny, I thought he got it. Dang.
It was close.
That's what we like here.
There you go, man. All right, well, I appreciate your time there. We'll catch you next Wednesday, sir.
Yep, have a good night.
You too. Let's drive the 16, Nathan Warren. And now to fire up the victory lane here, Gabe Butler in the 88. Man, congratulations on the victory here this evening.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, man. Started first, finishes first. You're up front quite a bit in this race. How were you able to get the job done with multiple wrecks and a lot of movement in tonight's field? A lot of blinkies out here, connection issues across the board, and then there's wrecks. There was just a lot of aerodynamic discrepancies, and it just looked like a very hectic race out there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I can't speak for the connection issues. Maybe it's weather related or something. I don't know, or if it's something to do with the update. But yeah, the car. Normally, this was a car you could really, give somebody a pretty good bump. But a lot of the people I was pushing tonight, and it was nothing of their doing. It seemed to really move them around a little bit. But having said that, it seemed to get better if as the race went on. I don't know if it had to do with new tires, light fuel load, or what, but something's changed a little bit. Quite can't put my finger on it, but yeah, I mean, key here in this car, I think, is track position, kind of stay up front and avoid the carnage, and we were lucky enough to avoid it there. I can't remember what lap it was, but I was on the high side, and they all seemed to wreck down below me, and I was able to get the track position and pick one or two spots off there at the end, and got lucky at the end with that wreck too, so we'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You came into this thing, your points leader, with 0 wins, and that changes that. Now you got a win on the column. So even if you were to do very bad the rest of the season, you got the playoffs locked in. So what are you going to do now for the next few races before we get to playoffs late July or early August? So what's the mindset now?
Well, the goal is now to, stay in it, obviously, keep racing hard, but try and get some of my teammates in, get them into the playoffs. I mean, they had a pretty rough night of it. Eric, I think, finished P13, if I'm not mistaken, but Everett and Jimmy kind of had a rough go of it. So the goal would be to try and get all those guys, like, at least a win or some stage wins or some points to where they can make the playoffs. So that'd be my goal anyway, and we'll see what we can do about that.
Yeah, 10 for on that, man. Well, congrats on the victory. Job well done tonight. You got fastest in qualifying, fastest in the race overall. And any shout-outs you want to give out before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to you guys for doing your fantastic broadcast, as usual, fellas. And, of course, OP and their admins. And, Jimmy, Everett, Eric, appreciate running with you guys each week. And hopefully we'll have some better luck next week.
All right, man. Well, better luck than winning is more winning, I guess. So go on, go get it, man, next week. I'll see you then.
All right, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right, that was Gabe Butler, driver number 88 there. Dustin, that race was crazy. A little bit of everything. Cars rolling, connection issues, 3 big ones that involved 10 cars plus. Just a lot of stuff going on tonight.
Yeah, it's you heard it from the drivers in the Nerd TV podium. Gabe Butler said it best. I mean, it was a rough one out there. Rougher than normal. So could that be just some pushback from the new update? It possibly could be. We definitely seen some connection issues there throughout the race. They were very heavy at the start. Kind of got a little bit better there at midpoint on, but I mean they were still present. So. It's definitely something that was out there. Obviously the point situation, drivers trying to get as much as what they could. But yeah, I mean, seeing 3 big ones of 10 plus cars. I mean, we've seen cars flip. We went on a hell of a ride with John Guerrera on that one there in the Oakley visor cam. So it was a rough one. Definitely one that they're probably looking to get behind them. But we have another unknown next week, Jeremy. That new Gen 4, we have not seen these guys run that in league competition. That will be the first time them running it at Talladega. At least I have a track there where there's a little bit more room to go 3 wide, a little bit more comfortable. might be the best time to break that out. But we got to thank Jeff Crosby Jr., tonight's sponsor for the Jeff Crosby Jr. at Daytona. Got to thank all the fans and everything else that tuned in and were watching, everybody that chatted. Loved seeing that. And we got to thank all the drivers in the league over here at OP for putting on the show. So, I mean, it's can't wait to see what the second half of the regular season is going to bring here, Jeremy.
Yeah, it should be a fun one to watch too as we go week 7 next week. Let's tune in live, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and we'll have all the action for 70 more laps then. Also on the Nerd TV side, tomorrow night, we got some ARCA racing going on. Same time as tonight too, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. And then we're off for Father's Day, of course. So no Global Racing Truck Series this Sunday. So we got Thursday and then next Wednesday. So you guys stay safe. Get your nerd on. Dustin, what you got for him?
As always, it's not goodbye. It's just till next time. Stay nerdy.
Back when nothing truly